Welcome to
Keenan
and Meg
and
the Gospel Love Ring.
Learning navigations of Baloot when playing a Baloot game on Dice World. Part 1. Basic navigation. Baloot is a highly intense complex game. The game can be easy if a player, or specific groups of players are fully experienced with playing it. However, if you have players that are new to the game, it's important to develop strategies. Within this tutorial, different things will be talked about involving the different categories and the numeric amount of slots for scoring. Dice World contains a total of 6 games for players to play, Baloot being the 6th game. When playing the game, you have a total of 5 dice. You not only have a total of 5 dice to choose from on the game board, but the grid is referred to as a 4x7 category, respectively, known as a 4x7 grid. In situation like this, when dealing with a grid that involves 4x7, the access points are looked at as coordinates. Often at times, the types of coordinates that are often noticeable when it comes to graph grids, or 4x7 grids, the types of coordinates that are often noticeable for navigation is X and Y access corners. X and Y coordinates contain the following directions. X coordinates, go straight across horizontal and left to right fashion. Y coordinates, go forward and backward, respectively, known as going in vertical fashion. Think of the vertical fashion as climbing up and down a ramp, respectively, known as ramp climbing. Objective points. The object of Baloot is to maximize the number of points in each of the 7 categories. Players score 4 times in each category, with the goal of meeting the required total score in order to receive that category's points. Here are some vital questions that players may often ask if either being new to Dice World, or being new to the Baloot games in general. What possible points does it take to score 4 on 4s? If 4 on 4s is an option, the main objective to scoring 4 on 4s, otherwise known as filling up the force columns, is that players will receive a total amount of 52 points. Remember, all 4 slots have to be filled directly. Within a later tutorial, we will talk about where to find the force column when doing finger navigation with VoiceOver on an iOS device. If the total score, after 4 rolls, meets this requirement, the player receives these points. Again, the objective is to maximize points for each category, again the example being 4 on 4s. If a player plays a Baloot game, and they hear VoiceOver mention a possible moves that mentions 8 on 4s, a player often may ask what is the goal for scoring 8 on 4s? The goal and objective is 8 and 16, 16, and 16. Briefly, you not only have to know orientation and mobility when it comes to navigating 4x7 grids, but basic math skills will always apply in the Dice World games that you or a single player or multiple players play. Math skills with games will always go a long way if it involves numbers and strategies. In the event, if the option for scoring 4 on 4s is not an option, and you're in a situation where your possible moves state 0 on 4s, and if you have an option for getting a score on the 5s column, a possible move for the 5s column is 5 on 5s. A player may often ask what is the goal for scoring 5 on 5s? Ultimate goal for scoring 5 on 5s is that a player will get 65 points. Remember, every Baloot game gives you or the player opponent 5 dice to choose from. Remember, the only time you are able to get 65 points on the 5 on 5s category is if your 5 section is filled all the way up. What is a common score for scoring 6 on 6s? Players that score 6 on 6s will receive a total of 78 points if again, all 4 slots are filled up completely on the 6s section. How many numbers does it take to score a Baloot? You have to use any given number. Here are some examples of any given numbers that can be used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If a player or yourself wanted to score for a 20-point straight or a 15-point straight, here are some common examples of what you can do to score for one or the other. 15-point straight directly contains concepts of the following numbers of 1 through 5. Example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you open a game of Baloot in the Dice World app, please always get into a habit of checking your recent current score. Score checking goes a long way at all times as much as possible. Reason for this is so that way you know what other points you have to get. Often, when players play the game of Baloot, we often hear possible moves being possible to score on a full house. Full house consists of 2 of 2 numbers, and 3 of 3 numbers. Example, 3 6s, and 2 2s. When it comes to players wanting to score for a 20-point straight, here are the following numbers that are often used for this attempt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Always remember to look at the numbers, but we are looking at the numbers. It's important to create patterns that are simple and easy to put together. In a common game of Baloot, players have rolls that are often known as bonus rolls. Some players may ask when can bonus rolls take place. Bonus rolls take place if you are doing bonus games. In a situation, if the game is non-bonus, players only have the option to roll the dice 3 times. In total, every Baloot game has a total of 28 rounds. As we mentioned, getting a Baloot requires any given number. As we mentioned, 1 through 6 will get a player a Baloot. This same scenario applies when a player plays Yahtzee, so think of it this way: Baloot is Yahtzee on steroids. How do points get awarded for total scores? Here is what happens within the addition. In addition, points are awarded based on your total score as follows. Therefore, 29 points is the maximum you can score. Last and final question. When a player plays a game of Baloot, what is the total amount score for the choice category? Players will often hear voiceover say that the possible moves are either the following: 10 on choice or 15 on choice. To score 10 on choice, if the numbers contain 2 5s on the dice of the Baloot game board, you were the player with select 2 of the dice that state 5. For instance, 5 plus 5 equals 10, and 10 plus 5 equals 15.
Well, guys, that is going to do it for us. Thank you so much. And please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and follow the channel Keenan and Meg. And please make sure you subscribe to Keenan and Meg. Or else. Love y'all. Take care. Be blessed. And peace out.